What's up, Hyperdrivers? It's that time of the year again. Time to break down the best lightsaber companies of 2024. Every year, I see a lot of lightsabers from many different lightsaber companies, and at the end of the year, I break it all down into one video where I share with you my favorite places that I buy lightsabers from. I create this list based on my experience with the company, and it's very much an opinion-based video mixed in with facts about their customer support and the quality of their products. If the company stands out either in a good or bad way, they will make this list. Now, usually I release this video in time for Christmas, but this year I decided to release it just before Black Friday so you guys could take advantage of those Black Friday sales. This year I have a few newcomers to the list, so just like last year, I'm going to break them down into categories. We're going to have our high-end replica sabers, we're going to have custom design sabers, TXQ and LGT sabers, and finally I'm going to close it all out with your entry-level sabers. So this is going to be a long video, so let's kick this thing off. First up, we got the high-end replica sabers. These are the companies where every minute detail matters and you're paying for it. This is very often the most expensive lightsabers on the market, but this is the closest that you're gonna get to the lightsabers that you saw in your movies or in the TV shows. And at the very top of the list are the lightsabers from Korbanth Sabers. Now, these sabers are very highly accurate lightsabers for the price. They're not as expensive as some of the other ones on this list, but they're definitely right up there in the quality and look of the lightsaber that you get from them. You can get the lightsabers fully installed with the latest Profi board and over 25 sound fonts from Kyberphonic Sounds, which makes them really, really cool. Or you can get them empty where you can build it yourself or send it off to somebody like Solosabers to work their magic. Now, I also saw that they've recently dabbled into getting some of the LGT and TXQ sabers on there for a more affordable saber, but where they really shine are in these high-end replica sabers. So this is definitely a place you want to check out. I even saw that they offer sometimes some other accessories with their lightsabers now. So like the Luke Skywalker V2 from Return of the Jedi, they even had like a vial of sand that came from the Imperial Dunes, which is where they shot the Sarlacc pit scene. That's a nice little accessory to add with the lightsaber. That's something that I don't see any of the other lightsaber companies do. And they usually have really great deals around Black Friday. Like last year, I was able to pick up 3 empty lightsabers for under $300. You really can't beat that. So definitely check them out. All right, and then next up are the lightsabers offered from 89 Sabers. Now, these I consider neck and neck with Korbanth Sabers. They're pretty comparative in pricing and just as accurate. So you get a really nice looking lightsaber. Here's the Mace Windu lightsaber that I got from CCsabers recently. And you can get these lightsabers either at CCsabers or at Vaders Sabers. I think both companies are very, very good. They offer really great customer support. I would say probably the best customer support rating on any of the other lightsaber companies that I'm going to feature on this list, so you can feel comfortable buying from them. In the case of Vaders Sabers, they even offer these sabers with custom weathering, so you can get it looking like it's a little more in universe. And CCsabers usually offers the best pricing on the 89 Sabers. So I highly recommend you guys check those out. I'll talk more about those companies later down the list because they also offer LGT and TXQ sabers on there. But 89 Sabers is another option for you if you want a really nice, highly accurate looking lightsaber. All right, so for the rest of the lightsabers that I feature in this category, you're gonna need to get a custom installer to install the electronics into them. It's because these other two companies do not offer the lightsabers already ready to go from their site. So you're gonna need somebody like Solosabers, which I highly recommend Jeremy. He is a super knowledgeable guy, and this guy gets the lightsabers turned around extremely fast. I once sent him a lightsaber to get built, and this guy got it back to me within a week. I mean, it's unheard of how quick this guy is, and he does great, great work. So also great customer support too. He's very easy to communicate with online. And if you want some sound fonts to install on those lightsabers, make sure you check out Kyberphonic. It's because he offers the best sound fonts in the galaxy. So first on this list is KR Sabers, and KR Sabers makes the best replica lightsaber hilts, bar none. They make the absolute best out there. They don't come with any electronics installed on them, so again, you're gonna have to get this installed by a custom lightsaber installer if you wanna make it light up. But if you want something that's highly accurate and looks really good, these are the guys that you wanna go with. And what I like about them is they offer a wide range of different lightsaber hilts. So you can get original trilogy, prequels, you can get Clone Wars, you can get Ahsoka, you know, they have a lot of different options out there for you to choose from. You just gotta check out their site and see what they have. Also, to go along with this really highly accurate looking hilt, they have insanely cool chassis ready to go for you to give to your installer to put in. So you can go anywhere from a eco chassis that's fully made of plastic to something that has metal and spinning chambers that you can use and all that other cool jazz that you want to put in your lightsaber. So I highly recommend that you guys check these guys out. To buy KR Sabers, you're going to want to go to thesaberarmory.com. And I can't even have a replica lightsaber conversation without talking about Roman props. Here is my Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber that I picked up from Roman Props. It's one of my favorite lightsabers that I have in my collection. These guys make the best original trilogy lightsabers. So if you want to get an original trilogy Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, or the Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi, these are the guys that you want to go to. You can get the lightsaber either static, so you won't be able to install any electronics in it, or you can go and have it empty where then you can give it to a custom installer to install. But definitely check out Roman Props. They're among the best. All right, so that brings us to the next category, which is unique custom sabers. These are lightsabers that were either inspired by a replica or are just something all of its own. It definitely doesn't look like something that came out of the movies. If you're buying a lightsaber in this category, you are much more than just an enthusiast. You're a connoisseur of lightsabers. So first on the list is the Lightsaber company that made my favorite lightsaber this year, and that is Jawa's Junkyard. Check out this lightsaber. Isn't it freaking dope? This is the lightsaber that's inspired by the Palpatine lightsaber from the prequels, but you can see that it has the elegance of what you would expect Chancellor Palpatine to have, but then it has this vigorous, more aggressive look to it, which speaks to his alter ego as Darth Sidious. So this is a really awesome looking lightsaber, and they offer it in this metal form, but they have a bone version, which looks really cool as well. So it's a very awesome looking lightsaber. Now, when you get a lightsaber from Jawa's Junkyard, they don't come with all of the effects installed on them. You have to send it off to a guy like Solosabers so that they can do all the installs. He's the one that did the install on this one for me, and it just looks freaking awesome. I can't recommend Jawa's Junkyard enough to you guys. They have really good customer support. I was able to email them and they responded back within like a day, and they explained to me how the whole process works. And you know, they did a pretty quick turnaround, all things considered, because I think when I ordered that lightsaber, they were in the middle of designing it. So it took a little bit more time than something that's already on their site, but they got it delivered. It was delivered pretty quickly, and then Jeremy turned it around real fast. So very happy with what I got from them. In this category, you can't close it out without mentioning Sabertrio. Now, Sabertrio makes some really pretty, well-built lightsabers. I would say among the best in terms of craftsmanship. These lightsabers can be custom built to your needs, so you can go on their website and you can really dial down what it is that you want. You can have custom etching, you can have an OLED display installed in it, or you can even choose the color of the hilt. So you can really make it, you know, all your own within their specifications. And they offer some pre-built lightsabers that if you like the way those look, they're ready to ship right then, right there. Make sure you keep a lookout for them for Black Friday, because usually they have a set of custom lightsabers that they just have ready to go just for Black Friday, and they sell out pretty quickly. So definitely keep them on your list. And last in this category for me is Saberforge. Here's an example of a Saberforge lightsaber. Now, Saberforge is a company that really exists in all markets. They have a more inspired replica lightsaber that you could pick up from them. They have TXQ and LGT lightsabers, but where I feel this company really shines is in their custom adaptive parts. You can go on their website and you can have a custom lightsaber fully built, you know, like this one, and you can choose everything from the emitter to the pommel to the way it lights up to the electronics built into it, and you can truly have something of your own. They're almost like a Savvy's workshop on the internet. So, you know, you can really make it dialed down and have a lightsaber that is truly one of a kind. So if you have, that's the type of lightsaber that you want to get, definitely keep Saberforge on your list. All right, and next up are the lightsabers that make up the bulk of my collection, and that's the TXQ and LGT lightsabers. And there are more places that you can buy these type of sabers than you can throw a stick at. Sometimes it can be a little daunting with trying to figure out which lightsaber company to go with, but hopefully this list will help you out. Now, I've seen some people in the comments mention that you can get these lightsabers over at AliExpress for a lot less money. And they're right, you can get TXQ and LGT lightsabers on the AliExpress website for much, much less than you can get from any of these companies. But the problem with buying from them is that there's no customer support. And if you're unlucky, like one of my friends was, your lightsaber will come blown up and now you just got an empty looking hilt. So, you know, you get what you pay for. First on my list in this category is Nsabers, and they've been pretty much my go-to company for TXQ lightsabers. They have pretty competitive pricing, good customer support, and very fast delivery on the lightsabers. Now, this past year, they just dabbled into making an exclusive lightsaber, and this is their first one. This is the Anakin Skywalker. They worked with TXQ to make this, and this is my favorite Anakin Skywalker lightsaber like ever right now. So I hope that they do more of this in 2025. Right now, they have their Black Friday sale going on, and if you use the code MedinaLorian15, you can save yourself 15% on your purchase. Next up is Vaders Sabers, and these guys operate out of my home state of Florida, so I may be a little bit partial to them, but no, seriously, they really do have some great customer support. I can't recommend these guys enough. Some of the things that come to mind when I think about them are super friendly, very, very knowledgeable, and always willing to help. It's just some of the things that come to my mind when I think about them. They offer TXQ, LGT, and 89 sabers, and in a lot of cases, they're best priced on TXQ lightsabers. I've seen them more times than not where you can get the least expensive way to buy that lightsaber is through Vaders Sabers. And they offer the option to get these things custom weathered so you can have it a little more in-universe. Right now, they have their Black Friday sale going on, and you can save 10% on all your orders. And another great place to buy from is CCsabers. And just like with Vaders Sabers, I can't say enough good things about their customer support. Super knowledgeable guys, very friendly, and they're almost always best priced on 89 sabers. They also offer TXQ and LGT lightsabers and a lot of different options to choose from. And they have a lot of cool accessories as well that you can pick from on their website. Right now, they have a Black Friday sale going on, and you can save up to 20% on your orders, so make sure you check them out. And again, I can't talk about TXQ and LGT lightsabers without talking about Artsabers. I believe they were one of the first to start carrying this line of lightsaber. But this year, what I like is that they've started to focus more on cosplay. So you can actually get these bundles that they have on their website where you can get a helmet with the lightsaber, which makes it really convenient for cosplayers, or if you want to give somebody like a gift, like if you wanted to get them like a Darth Vader lightsaber and you can have the helmet to go along with it, that makes a really awesome display. They have some pretty good pricing, very, very fast delivery, and pretty good customer support. Make sure you check them out. They haven't listed their Black Friday sale yet, but I know that they're going to have one, so keep an eye out for them. And that brings me to the new kid on the block, which is Theory Sabers. And this company is owned by Star Wars Theory, which is the largest Star Wars-centric YouTube channel on YouTube. And whether you like or dislike the guy, or you don't agree with his opinion on Star Wars, the guy has a pretty good game plan for his lightsaber company. Now, when you go to his website, the first thing that you're going to notice is that the lightsabers are higher priced than the other lightsaber companies in this category. But he has good reason for it. First of all, the lightsabers come packed with Kyberphonic sound fonts. And they come with sounds from Samuel Kim, who's a really great composer on YouTube. I use a lot of his sounds for my shorts, and the guy's just great. You got to check him out. So right now you may be thinking, so what? It comes with some sounds. But if you ever have to install sound fonts, first of all, they're $10 a pop to get a sound font. And then you have to find a way to rip these sound fonts from these sounds from Samuel Kim and then install it on your chassis, which sometimes it could be a little bit of work, especially if you're working with a Profi board, it could be a little bit of work. This takes all the work out for you, and more importantly, you can choose which sound fonts you want installed on it. If you go to the site and you pick the Saber, you can actually pick the sound font pack that you want to get installed on it, which I think that is an awesome move. It's because, I can't tell you how many lightsabers I own all have the same sound fonts installed on them. I mean, if I got to turn on a lightsaber and the first thing I hear is Sailor Moon again, I'm going to pull my hair out. But seriously, I think that is a really, really awesome thing. He also offers his configuration files on his website, which are very convenient and very easy to find. And these things come very nicely packed and well organized. They come very quickly. The shipping is really good. And the customer support is pretty decent. They respond pretty fast, they're friendly, and pretty knowledgeable. So that's all good as well. And remember that high price I told you about? Well, this guy has the deepest discounts that I've seen in any of the lightsaber companies, sometimes offering up to like 25% off these lightsabers. So that often brings the cost of the lightsaber down right to the same level as some of the other companies, but now it's packed with all these extra goodies in the lightsaber. And some of the profits that go from the purchase of your lightsaber goes to funding his fan films that he makes, which he's got a new one coming out, which looks pretty badass. But I think it's a pretty good company. Definitely keep them on your list, and make sure that you're following him on YouTube and on Instagram. It's because you're going to need to follow him in order to find out when the discounts happen. So that brings me to the last category on the list, which is your entry-level lightsabers, which pretty much is your Disney Legacy and your Hasbro Force FX Elite lightsabers. Now, this is a lightsaber that I used to collect. I don't really collect as much anymore, but I do realize that there's still a market for them. A lot of people do get into them and they buy them. It's definitely something cool to have when you go to Disney. You know, you see the lightsabers there, and the experience is really the best thing about the Disney sabers, especially. I've almost completely stopped buying the Hasbro lightsabers. Now, these lightsabers, like I said, are entry level, but they're almost like a gateway drug, all right? The lightsabers are anywhere run from about $150 on the low end to upwards of $300 for a lightsaber, which brings you almost right to the point of a, you know, NeoPixel lightsaber. You know, so once you get your hands on one of these and you see how cool it is, you're probably going to want to jump to a NeoPixel lightsaber. Let's just be real. Just, you know, if you get into this, you're probably going to want to do that. But really, what I would recommend if you're going to buy something like this is definitely go with the Disney one, I think, over the Hasbro. And that's because the experience, like I said earlier, there is nothing like the experience of building a lightsaber at Savvy's workshop for a Star Wars fan. You know, you may end up with a thick lightsaber, but the experience is something that is just, your money can't buy. It really is a fun experience to build a lightsaber there. And then the box sets that they sell at Disney is just got a great presentation. I mean, they got music that plays. The Darth Maul one that I saw this year actually had a light up feature. That's badass, you know, and it makes for a really awesome display in your collection. So I can't knock them off the list, but I just letting you know that if you buy one of these lightsabers, you definitely want to go up to the next level. So that's my list this year. I hope this helps you out. If you know of any lightsaber companies that you felt should have been on the list or should be on the list for 2025, make sure you let me know in the comments below, and let me know what your experience was with the company, because that helps the community out. You know, these type of things help us purchase from good companies, right? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and until next time, may the Force be with you.